Detective Comics 987, Brian Edward Hill writing, Miguel Medoncha back on the art, which is nice because he started the arc, so it's a bookend.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so this is the wrap up of this arc, and we have. I actually really like the opening to this. I like the two security guards who we just get a briefest. It's basically just, hey, can I eat the rest of your pizza because I forgot to bring lunch. It's just enough to make them feel like human beings right before Karma comes in and shoots one of them in the head, and I'm like, oh man.
Until Karma
Until
happens.
Karma happens, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that the Batman, that Bruce knows who the other guy is, like the one who's alive, he's like, no, he's got a wife who's got diabetes, and he works nights so that he can be with her during the day, and like, oh man, you're making me care about this innocent bystander. Stop it, Batman, stop it.
See, and I feel like anybody that tries to defend the Batman versus Superman guns on the Batmobile, I'm gonna point him to this issue, and like, no, Batman cares about people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just villains are not villains. He's not a
I mean, don't get me wrong. This was like, okay, all right. I'm invested in who we're saving now. That's cool. That's a neat trick. So
yeah, I like that they did that.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, that's nice.
No.
Especially since we know we're getting the Outsiders book for sure. Not that I had any doubts beforehand, admittedly, but
that's what makes me doubly excited now to read Hill.
Well, and especially at the end of this, it says, what is it, to be continued very, very soon.
Yeah, everything that sets up here, because he even says, I want you to have a team and go after, like, wherever he got his mask, and it's Markovia is just one of the places where, it's just doing all this illegal shit with the tech. So I want you to go around the planet and take care of it, take care of it all. So that's cool as setting up that book. And the villain at the end with the laser eye, it's not even just a laser, it's kind of like Heat Vision turned up to 1,000, where it just blasts out this wall of energy.
And that's the lady that we saw in Karma's, like, was it the first issue where we see him buying the mask? Well, maybe it wasn't him, because the state that he's left in when Batman's done, that didn't seem consistent unless it's revealed like that was a different person buying that.
Well, they say that just because he got it there doesn't mean that's where it came from. So it could be that whoever sold it to him got it from her.
The state that he's in after he pulls off the mask, I think it's supposed to be the mask was like bonded with him, and it because you can see his skin being pulled off with the
but he also says like the state Batman left him in with the bats and whatnot left him as mentally deficient, right? And he was basically almost a vegetable, and he puts the mask on and ups him up. So when they take the mask off of him, so is that he was wearing the mask too long, and that's what it did to him?
Yeah. I think there's also maybe the idea, Matt, that before this mask he had something else that helped him. That wasn't like as extreme, but he had something to help him.
Well, because I think that would add an interesting wrinkle if there's someone going around and this guy, even though he was what does Hill say, mentally invalid, that he still knew who Batman was. He pieced it together, and that through this mask and through other machinations, someone gave him that mask for whatever reason and set him on this course.
Yeah.
So either way, it's interesting, like the way that it goes. But yeah, it left him as this, it looks like Karma's not going to be back. So
yeah,
someone off villain.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean the action stuff with them trying to save the guard, and like even afterwards, like Duke saying, "Hey, let's get you home, Mister Henderson or whatever his name is." Yeah, I was like, actually, again, I care about this character, so it was nice that they set it up like this.
You know what's sad? I care more about the security guard than I do about Duke.
Do you know what? Duke has the privilege of having the line of dialogue that I hate. Every time Katana shows up, someone goes, "So, your husband's in that sword." No, every time. Yeah, I know, but every time someone has to question it, it's like, really?
You know what would have been cool if Cass would have said it, but it wasn't like a question, because she's from that kind of world where it's all mystical. I
don't understand why it was relevant here. Like there was no need to bring it up.
Connor, there's people that don't know who Katana is and what her deal is.
No, I get that, but I don't think it's never mentioned again in this issue. I think that it's pointless mentioning it here at all until I don't think that's going to make you go, I'm going to read this new book because Katana's got her husband's soul in a sword. You're going to go.
No, but it makes Katana stick out as more than just the samurai woman. She has Soul Taker.
Yeah, but honestly, I think in this issue, that's all that she needed to be. And then, she's going to be in the new series, and that's where you can go into that.
You know, I had
It's
no
two
issue with
panels.
it.
I'm fine with it.
I hate it
Like,
every single time she shows
I
up,
agree
even
with
when it's
it.
not
That
relevant.
why does it have to be Duke? Why couldn't it be even Black Lightning going like, hey, so what's it? Your husband stolen that sword? Because he's a teacher and he's seen stuff in the world. Versus what Duke doing is just like, oh, look at the naive teenager, which I didn't wasn't as good, but I guess it gives Duke justification to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I don't know.
I just
I feel like
it,
Matt
it
is at
feels
like
like
Red
every
Hood levels
time.
of Duke hate at this point.
I don't understand. So they try to make
The
him.
reason why I say that is because I feel like we can't even mention him now without you getting some digs in at him.
Yeah, because he feels useless. Like even here, like
It's got a light tracking power.
Which, yeah, to be
I
fair,
guess.
I mean, I never finished his miniseries, but when they used that in the first issue, I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, this is a neat power. This is different.
But there's other characters like you could use, and I just feel like Duke's just there, and he's not even interesting.
Oh no, I agree.
Like,
His biggest crime is that he's dull, and there's nothing interesting about him. I completely agree with that.
Unfortunately, the only way to fix that though is having him in more
Yes.
stuff.
yeah, but they don't try it.
What's with the front cover?
What's the front cover? I've not even.
Well, you've got a Brainiac head, and it says, "What are the
Oh, I
Brainiac
mentioned
files?"
that.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah, Amanda
so
Waller.
I didn't get this cover.
Yeah, Amanda Waller. Katana has all the locations of all these potential places because they got that when they telepathically attacked Brainiac in No Justice. That's the Brainiac files. I admit it's a stretch.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but I agree with Connor because my shop didn't even get these covers because I asked. I ended up with the variant and I didn't like the variant. And I go, what's the other cover? And he goes, oh, they didn't send out any. So I didn't even realize it until I just looked at it right now. Yeah,
I admit it's a stretch,
weird.
but they do mention Brainiac in the issue, and where some intel
they
comes
do
from.
mention it like once in like one panel, and I'm looking at this going, what?
Hey, to be fair, this is not even close to being the worst for misrepresentation on a cover.
It's
Oh,
not,
no, but it's
but
close.
as the arc, the final issue of the arc, setting up the team of the Outsiders, and this is what they go with.
It's weird. It's not a great cover. I admit. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying it is, and at least it's mentioned that there's so many covers where they don't even mention or like hint at what the cover was. At least this kind of had a little tidbit.
Like, sure. I wanted to say I got no problem with the art of the cover itself.
Sure, yeah.
Just
No.
it just makes no
It's just
sense
an odd
too.
cover they chose to go with.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, that was a weird.
Well, maybe that's what Outsiders is going to be going forward with, or the Brainiac Files, and it'll play into that more so than whatever's going on with tech after this.
No, I like the issue though. For all the weird dancing around and Duke debates that we just had, I thought it set up the stakes in some minor characters I didn't know. I cared about the outcome. I liked them being heroic. Black Lightning saying, "Hey, Batman, no, you need help." And insisting that he get involved, like all that stuff. It was fine. I mean, honestly, yeah, the fight with Karma is probably the weakest part, but that's whatever.
Yeah,
I have
like
just a question about the art. Why did the mask disintegrate when he pulled it off him? Do I know?
alien technology.
Yeah, maybe it's like a security feature where they don't want anyone else to take it. So if it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just struck me as weird.
I think that's less to do
Like, it
with
was
the
never
art and
mentioned.
more to do just what's the plot reason for it, as opposed to it being like a. Yeah,
Fair enough.
as opposed to like Madoncha just sitting there going, you know what's going to be cool, I'm going to make this disintegrate. As if he's just sat down and made that call.
Do you know
They
why
did.
I think it stands out to me? Is because for every the rest of the scene, the Batman's hand, one of them is always hidden off panel or behind the body, like he should be holding the mask still.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why it sticks out as weird. It's like they were like, oh yeah, we were gonna have him hold it, but I drew it to disintegrate there. Shit. It kind of feels like I don't know. It was just weird to me.
That's fair. But yeah, so I like the villain tease at the end though, and I'm excited about it too. Because I think what this book's done, or this arc's done well, is made me want this team in some capacity. I'm excited about Cass and Black Lightning, working together, and they might build Duke into a more interesting character, despite Matt's reservations.
I hope they leave him in Markovia.
Matt.
That's also an 8.
Connor.
I give it 7.5.
I'm gonna go 8. I think what they did with the guards at the start and then making me care about who they were saving, I thought was so impressive that I will forgive maybe the fight with Carmen not being as super interesting as it could have been.